one of the things that you've seen is there's 5 different conflict styles. And I'd like to tell you a story about a day in my life that would exemplify that you can actually appropriately use all 5 conflict styles within a day. So I get up in the morning and my teenage son says to me that he's not going to school today because he hasn't prepared for his math test. So here I'm in a position of power. I have little time and I need to be right. So I say to him, no, you are going to school today and you're going to face the consequences of your not studying. So I'm going to use compete in my conflict mode to get my son to go to school. Then I get to the office and I have a meeting with a peer, and we are hiring a project manager for an SAP project, and we are on the hiring team. I want somebody that has lots of project lead experience, and he wants somebody that has a lot of SAP experience. So we spend a good hour collaborating on the job description to make sure that both of our concerns are met. So that would be an example of collaborating. After lunch, I go to another meeting with my boss and my peers, and we are cutting the budgets due to the economic crisis. And I have many, many projects on my plate, but my boss has to cut my projects. So I need to compromise with my boss, and I say, okay, so these projects can get done, but I can't do these projects because you're cutting my resources. So I'm giving up something, which is my budget, and he's giving up something, which is some of the projects will need to be pushed out to other quarters. That's an example of compromise. It's been a long day, and now I'm going to be leaving the office. And the VP sees me as I'm leaving at about 7 o'clock at night, and he stops me, and he really wants to know the details of the SAP project. And I really want to go home. But he's the VP, and so I decide to accommodate him. And we end up going to the cafeteria, and I take him through the details of the project till about 8 at night. That's an example of accommodating. I yield to his wants over my want to go home. Finally, I get out to my car about 8 o'clock at night, but I hear something behind me, and I turn around, and there's a man with a gun. And he says to me, give me your wallet. Well, I definitely want to avoid a conflict, so I give him my wallet, and then I get in my car, and I go home. So that's an example of 5 different conflict styles that could be appropriately used within a day. There's a time and a place for all these different conflict styles.